Shalom Yasharallah. First and foremost, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Racha HaKwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching the truth in righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that have passed on serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai, Shalaraz first. To you sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers who out here teaching this truth, and always commemorate the sister who washed Yahweh Shai feet when you read the scriptures. All right, I wanted to talk to y'all about, like, this morning it's raining, so that's why I ain't working today, unfortunately. Well, somewhat. But anyway, I was watching this documentary on Tony Robbins, which a lot of y'all don't know who the fuck Tony Robbins is just because of age. You know, he's always been a motivational speaker. I don't know whether he's sincere or not. I doubt he is, because I mean, the amount he fucking charges for that. He puts on a great show, though. He puts on a great show. But while I was watching what he was doing for others, I realized the scriptures is our motivational speaker. We don't really need a Tony Robbins in Israel, because we constantly read our motivational speaker. We get our motivation from the scriptures. Now, granted, sometimes that motivation is more than other times. Like, one thing that's always energized me is seeing a new group of brothers. I remember how much I don't know if I've ever had this conversation with Tazaiwan, Elder Tazaiwan, formerly of DTA, formerly of Men of Valor. I'm not sure if he's going to resurrect the name DTA or what he's going to, what he's going to do as far as camp, the name of what he's doing, because he is out there doing the work. But when I first started seeing DTA, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, a lot of times when I saw them teaching, I was like, damn, they're like a masterpiece within this rough around the edges mold. Like they were not, they didn't have it at first as far as the whatchamacallit, they weren't polished. They needed to be refined, with being taught by older men. So I gravitated to them because of that. I gravitated to them because, I saw so much potential, and I'm sad that a lot of those young brothers left the truth. A lot of those young brothers, I mean, we're talking multiple waves of men who came in, but the thing is that this thing sometimes, and a lot of those men maybe needed a spiritual boost. When I started seeing them, I was young myself. I think I was an 8-year veteran when I started seeing them. They was new. I was like, wow, because one had already been in this truth about 3 years. And I didn't know. I seen him here and there. I never knew he ran a camp. But a lot of times we need to psych ourselves up into this thing. We need to give ourselves motivation. A lot of us are self-motivated. Like, what motivates Apostle Tahar? What motivates Apostle Orion Lab? What motivates Apostle Gabar or Apostle Rakah? I know part of it is probably seeing how a lot of this truth would fall apart if they wasn't out there. Because let's be honest here, man. Some of the very disciples of GMS are Sakari. And unfortunately, You see what the latter end of that was in Genesis. You know, you see that they're needed. Elders are needed, leaders are needed. So I'm pretty sure some of what motivates them is just seeing everything else that's, you know, because let's be honest here, Israel, because of these young YN Israelites, people don't really, a lot of people don't respect Israelites. A lot of people don't respect these Israelites. Those Israelites caused a lot of us to lose respect, honestly. Those Israelites caused a lot of us to lose respect. But, you know, we out here, the real ones. You know, so what motivates us? You know, what motivates me is a lot of brothers are motivated by the fear of the nukes. That does motivate me. I'm not going to sit here and say that has nothing to do with my motivation. But part of what motivates me is what the fuck else do I have? I could very easily go slip into the fucking party scene. At 46, trust and believe, I still got it. If I wanted to go out there and fucking party and do all types of shit, I could, but what is the benefit of it? You know, what do I or anybody else around me get from it? You know, I'm not a selfish brother, so it's like, what do I, or, you know, because I also think about those around me. What does anybody get from me going back out there into the party scene? You know? Nothing. What the fuck is there? You look at this world and you see how much you've learned in the truth. You see how much you've learned in the truth and how much you've endured, and you're going to throw that away for what? I always tell brothers, man, like, what the fuck is there out there? Yeah, there's a little fun. What can I do outside the truth that I can't do in the truth? One thing I love is going to Atlantic City. Second thing I love is going on cruises. I could do that in or out the truth. I'd rather be a man of the Lord willing, and go on a cruise. Hell, you never know. I might meet people that I might inspire, you know, through the Spirit. So, you know, what inspires you? I mean, the fear of the nukes is great motivation, because shit, it's hard to endure a hot day, let alone fucking 1,000 years burning up, feeling constant fire. You know, that's a lot of pain. You know, but if that's your only motivation, then your motivation, your loyalty lives and dies with that. What can you save me from? But what about what's the right thing? How's the right way to live? You know, because the other day at camp, we was bringing out a scripture where people basically don't want to follow the law, right? So part of, and people, and then there's scriptures in the Bible that talk about loving the law. Why do we love the law? Why do we love keeping the law? What is it about the law that we're supposed to love? Because for a lot of people, the law is just another fucking set of rules, right? It's another set of things that you can't do. Because this society has you so wound up thinking being told what you can and can't do is wrong, right? But it ain't. You know, we keep the law to the best of our ability because it's simply the right thing to do. Because by keeping the law, you can, and you do, keep the world going in an orderly fashion. Perfect example is the seafood industry, right? Why is the water so fucking filthy? First off, we're pumping shit into the water. We're dumping a whole bunch of shit into the water, and we're removing the very things that clean the water. So that's something to think about. That's something to think about, how, because one person eating shrimps isn't gonna help much. But what about when you make a whole industry out of eating shrimps, crabs and lobsters, eels, mussels, clams? You know, following the Most High would give us cleaner drinking water. Not eating pig. You know, pigs clean land. Pigs are the land shrimps. These unclean animals are part of the ecosystem, part of what makes everything move. And you're eating them like they're a fucking delicacy. Why do y'all think a lot of animals are turning up in places where they usually don't go? Why are there bears in the hood? A few years ago, there was a bear in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Elizabeth, New Jersey is a city. Just last week, I saw pictures of a chick. Well, not the chick. A picture taken by a chick on my Facebook feed that was in Newark. It was like 2 or 3 deer in Newark, in a city. Why are animals leaving their habitat? Animals are not happy. Animals are off balance. What keeps this world going is balance. And if you don't have balance, the imbalance is destructive. The imbalance of this earth is destructive. The agendas of man are destroying the earth at a rapid speed. These are agendas meant to kill us, meant to harm us, meant to destroy us. This world don't love us. You know, but that's kind of what, you know, but knowing the right and wrong in this earth, being able to constantly have to speak on it, that's what keeps me motivated. The fact that smarter people than me are out here doing fucked up shit. You know, well, supposedly they're smarter than me, right? Donald Trump, Obama, Joe Biden, George Bush. I mean, you would think these motherfuckers were smarter than me, right? They made it to president of the United States. I couldn't sniff the fucking presidency. Aside from the fact that I wasn't born here. So you have all these factors that have destroyed our world. And the idea that you can wake people up and get them right spiritually. Yesterday I posted something where this white guy, which I'm probably going to have to do a whole separate video on that, but some guy named Thomas Rousseau made such a chilling speech at that thing on the 4th of July. He made such a chilling speech that motherfucker damn near needs to win some type of award for it. It's full of hate. I mean, when he said 100 nations are being brought here with conflicting interests or incompatible interests, What do you think that's talking about? People of other nations are being brought here. Islam, Central American people that may have ties to gangs. He doesn't talk about the possibility that there's hardworking people. No, everybody's a fucking criminal. Great speech if you believe in that bullshit. I mean, the speech in and of itself, you got to give him a lot of credit for it. Whoever wrote it, if it wasn't him. But the fact that you got people like that out here with those mentalities, you got to wake people up. Because there's black people that believe in that bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised if there were black motherfuckers with those white masses. And one of the people on my Facebook page was like, oh, why are we not prepared for race war? Why are we not armed? Nigga, if you think that that's what's going to fix the problem, getting armed, yeah, I mean, in a carnal sense, you can very much think that that's going to fix the problem, but it ain't. It ain't finna fix the problem. But anyway, I think I made my point. With that, I'm going to say shalom.